Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be working on Project Life Week 13 for 2021. For this spread, I am using the Ali Edwards Story Kit Connect to help me tell my stories. So I have my journaling cards selected with my journaling already printed on there, which I will make sure to include in my description box down below, a tutorial that I have about how to print your own text on physical cards. And then I selected my pictures, which I will give you some more details about as we get into this video. And then in addition to these, I also have this journaling card right here with these circles. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is cut them out and use them as some additional journaling spaces on some of these photos. So I have this to use. I've got my tiny phrase stickers out, and then I have a couple of embellishments that I just have left from the kit. So a couple of the acetate hearts, the plastic phrases that I might use as some title pieces on here, the heart brads, and then I have one chipboard from the collection that says, "So glad we connected." And then I pulled one from one of the Stories by the Month kits that just says Easter story because this was the week of Easter. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward while I get this spread put together. And then once we have everything done, I will slow back down so we can finish out the video for today. So let's go ahead and get started. To get started with today's spread, I knew the first thing I wanted to do was go ahead and put together my title card. When I'm working in Project Life, I like to set aside some of the patterned cards that come in the various kits to use as my title cards. For this one, I could have used the heart-to-heart pattern, or I could use the one that's got all the little dots on it. I decided to go with the dots one and to find a label sticker that I could put in the middle and just stamp my dates on. So the label sticker sheet that I pulled out here is from the Storytelling Basics collection from Ali Edwards, and I'm just going to use that gray one because it plays pretty well with the rest of the colors in this kit. I had also pulled out an older sheet from the Kindness Story Kit that had similar colors to this one, but none of the labels that I had left were ones that I particularly liked the color of when they were put next to everything in this kit. So I went ahead and date stamped that label and then stuck it down into the middle of the pattern card. Once I did that, I realized, you know what? I actually want to stick one of these plastic hearts behind it to add a little bit more decoration onto the card. So I pulled it back up very carefully so I didn't rip the card or rip the label either. And then I stuck the label down on top of the heart so that it covers up the sentiment that was on there. And I'm going to staple it into the middle of the card. Now it does interact with the edges, so I will go ahead and cut off the pieces that are hanging over. And then that is going to be my title card. I really, really like the way that that one turned out. So since I still have this second pattern card here at the top, the larger 4x6 one, I decided to add the other two plastic hearts up there. I like the way that they layer together, and it was a fun way to use a couple more of those hearts that came in this kit. So I layered one on top of the other, the pink on top of the blue so that you could actually see through the pink to the blue. And then I took one of the chipboard stickers there and stuck it down in between the two hearts. I used that as an anchor to put those pieces down. So I stuck the chipboard onto the plastic hearts and onto the card, and then used my tiny attacher to adhere the top parts, or to attach the top parts of those hearts onto the card. And that's going to be all I do for that one. I also am loving the look of that one too. This spread, just as a heads up, is going to be a little bit more embellished than I typically do. But I think with all of the muted colors and with the different textures that it actually works out really nice this week. And I'm pretty proud of the fact that I was able to use so many of the different embellishments on this spread. So once I had that piece done, the next thing I did was to pull over those plastic title pieces and to figure out a story or a photo that I could put them on where it would make a little bit of sense. Then I took the card that had the 5 journaling circles, and it had one in the middle that was a sentiment. And the sentiment I'm just going to add to my stash. It'll be one of the things that's left over from this kit. But all of the rest of those I decided to cut out into a circle, and I'm going to add them to some photos where I can put in a little bit more journaling context onto the photos themselves, since there is not a ton of journaling on this spread in particular. So I have added those to 5 of them, and then I am going to go ahead and start adhering down the different components. So I will use my roller adhesive to adhere down the circles, and then I'm using my tiny attacher for all of the plastic pieces. That way you don't see the adhesive behind the plastic pieces. So when I went to select my stories for this week, in all honesty, this week, which was last week, was really, really tough. I don't know if I was just in kind of a bad mindset, or if, my kids were harder than usual to manage. They just, I don't know, Jonah is getting into everything, and Izzy is getting easily frustrated with things. And I think we're all just having a little bit of cabin fever, and it was a tough week. It was just a tough week. So I felt like my journaling for this spread, I wanted to focus more on the things during the week that helped me to feel connected to my family and to myself, and things that just made me feel grounded in the week, because there were a lot of moments that I felt not very grounded. So that is what my journaling and my stories are mainly focused on here. So I've got a couple of them from outside, one where I took the kids for a walk. We were having a tough day, and I decided in the evening to just pack up the kids in our wagon and take them for a walk downtown, and then back to our house, just to get us some fresh air and to get us out of the house together. Also, Aaron was working that night, so it just made sense for us to go and get some time out of the house. Then I've also got a photo of Izzy and Pumpkin, that's her cat, that Aaron took. It's just one of my favorite photos from the week, because it shows how connected the two of them truly are. They love each other, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I've got a picture of a Starbucks bag there, which is a funny story. So one of the days I just was feeling, I want to say it was like Thursday, I was feeling like ready to explode, just not good. So I packed up the kids into the car, and I drove us to a local Starbucks that has a drive-through, because I decided on a whim to go and buy myself a coffee and to get the kids some cake pops. So we drove to this local Starbucks, and lo and behold, they were closed. Probably they had a COVID thing, but who really knows? And so I had to go to the local Target instead and go in to get the coffee. And it wasn't until I had received everything that I realized I forgot to take off my slippers. So I went to the store in slippers. It was that kind of week. All right, friends, that finishes my spread for this week, and I really actually love the way that this one came together. It is much more embellished than I normally do, with all the different textures. So we've got the plastic and the chipboard and the extra card pieces, and then the brads. There's just a lot going on here, but I really love the way that it all looks when it's put together like this. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing this spread come together, and maybe it's given you some different ideas for how to use some of the products in your Connect Story Kit, or any kit that you have on hand to work with. If you did enjoy this video, I would love a thumbs up down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of my future crafty videos. I will be back again tomorrow, which is Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with my next YouTube live video working on just some random stories. And then again on Friday with my next Story Kit Crush projects using this same kit. So hopefully I will see you guys back here then. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.